openers.
So people might not have seen this because it's kind of went under the radar a little bit, but it's the most in my I can't even call me shocked, right? I guess I'm not even surprised to see this, but the story is basically, yeah, with DoorDash is the fact that they partnered with a like loan company, like a loan servicing company called Klarna, which allows people to pay for their DoorDash with financing options. You can pay for your DoorDash in installments. So you can buy now and pay later for DoorDash. And so it took the internet by storm. People were quoting it like crazy with all of like these different memes from like Wolf of Wall Street and other movies like that too, where they're like, it's a bubble. Because people are like, this is a pretty bad sign of like economic times if people are literally financing like their fast food orders that they're getting, delivered to them via, DoorDash. It's just like I'm still a little like taken aback from it because I think that's indicative of the fact that people are, for one, at large, spending things when they shouldn't be. Like they're buying things when they shouldn't be, which is again a telltale sign of like with bubble, right? The common theme there with I believe they call it the subprime loan bubble was people were buying homes when they shouldn't have been, right? Only because they were getting certain backups that at a later point in time could no longer be backed up. The whole thing fell apart. Same thing here, right? You're going to get people who are on these kind of these talk shows that are like, okay, how far in debt are you? About like 8,000-9,000. They're like, okay, and how much of that is card debt? Like like, so what is the debt then? I got $9,000 in unpaid loans with DoorDash. Like what? 9 grand? You're the whole 9 grand for what you buy on DoorDash? Like that's unfeasible, right? Like if people are criminally in debt or having to pay in 4 installments. I mean, think about it, right? You have to pay if you can't even afford a $20 burrito, but you're paying, $5 for over 4 months or whatever. That's insane. That just shows like people are clearly making economic decisions with zero long term in mind. They're just buying just to get to the next day. And I think that's indicative of the fact that we're probably going to see some pretty rough economic times here soon.
Right. And Thunder OU Sooner mentions people have gotten lazy, and it's true. And people aren't willing to learn how to shop on a budget. And, like you can eat good food. All you got to do is learn how to cook it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got dogs barking, so I apologize. But yeah, if people wouldn't be so lazy and look to order DoorDash, and I'll tell you, I think I've used DoorDash once or twice in my life, and it was so expensive. I could not believe how much. I couldn't understand how they stay in business. I'm like, this is one meal for me and my wife, and I think I paid $75 after the tip and delivery and everything. It was a lot on top of the original charge. Like, it wasn't like a fast food. I think we ordered it from a restaurant, but still, it was like $45 worth of food probably, which is expensive. It was from a seafood place, but it was like $75-$80 once he got here. And I'm just like, never doing that again. Right. Never doing that again. I'm going to learn how to cook fish. And I did. I make I make these salmon fillets that are blackened that are fire. And you can buy a whole bag of them from Walmart. It's like $12 and you get multiple meals out of it for 2 people. And it's so much better. I gotta get my dog real quick because she's being annoying.
You're fine. But yeah, I think for one, my first kind of thought when I saw this was people are retarded, obviously. But I think most importantly, I think we probably are critically underestimating just how many people probably have zero savings, are literally living like within a couple of days of like losing everything, and people are just making ways to like just get to the next day. I think that's maybe like part of the issue here is thinking like no one's properly learning how to budget. But I think this coincides with just how many men and women view their futures to be entirely bleak for one reason or the other. And so they have literally zero care. They're like, so what? I'm broke. I see no way out of this. I hate women if it's men, and men are like, I hate men, and like no kind of real long-term commitment or goal in mind to build towards anything. It's just like what Chelsea Handler said. As long as I have my rose toy and marijuana in the morning, I just masturbate, smoke weed, and that's my life. That's literally it. I do nothing else. I look forward to nothing else. And so I think that kind of sentiment would cause someone to be like, who cares, dude? Like, if that's the way I can afford my DoorDash and not have to leave my house and do all this other kind of, very degen, low IQ, low vibration behavior and get away with it, they're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, for real. It's like it's the payday loans of fast food delivery, right? It's like you get stuck in this loop of getting your cash advanced paycheck and then paying more than what you got at the end of the week or whatever when you actually get your check. It puts you in a spiral, a net zero, a net negative, really. And it's crazy because like I said, the simple solution is, and part of it is people work their butts off, like the working people that are ordering fast food, living off of it, and life goes, 90 miles an hour or whatever. But it's just take a little bit extra time and learn how to cook a few meals in, and I will mention, if anybody's interested in some of my recipes, I'll put them in the Discord. Great meals that don't cost that much that I cook regularly. Incentivize you guys to join the Discord if you're interested, and let you guys know we do have a Discord. But I mean, like I said, the salmon fillets that I cook, you could add a baked potato to it. It's $3-4 worth of food that I spent, and it comes out a $20, $30, $40 meal at a restaurant or whatever. You know what I mean? So stop, Parker, stop. So yeah, Jamie said, please, I'll do that. I'll add a few things that I cook that are super cheap and like straight up restaurant quality, and it's pretty easy. It doesn't take very much time and everything like that. So, but anyways, I think this story is insane. It's like a Democrat Band-Aid, a way of, rather than addressing the problem, we're just like, we'll just figure out how to extend credit to people that can't figure out how to slow down their lives and take control of their lives, right? They depend on other people to make food for them. So, we'll just find another way of credit so that they can continue down this path of eating unhealthy and paying way too much for a meal.
Yeah,
it's a shame. I get it. It's created out of necessity, kind of, almost, but it seems to me like a situation that somebody should avoid at all costs. You don't want to go in credit, don't want to go in the hole like this, because obviously we all know we need to eat every day, and this is something that could pile on really, really fast. But it just blows my mind that I never would have saw this coming. I never would have seen this coming.
Right. Well, it looks like I was going to answer Thunder OU's question. Saying things like, does it have interest rate? And so, according to this, and I'll zoom in on my end too, so it's easier to read this.
Yeah, I put you on the stage. Oh, I thought I did. There we go.
There we go. Okay. Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, it looks like that they're interest-free installments, which, if you ever hear anything that's interest-free installment, typically means they're just charging an upfront fee. So say, like, if what you owed was $20 and you're like, well, instead of paying $20, you can pay $6 in 4 installments. Well, obviously it's cheaper then, but it's like you're paying $6 per installment. You're just paying it upfront. You're agreeing to an upfront increased price to be able to pay over that time period. No interest involved. It's just a flat kind of increase of a payment there. So imagine that's what it is, getting like some kind of advanced money on that. Ultimately, I would expect that you would also see this news followed with DoorDash selling out to somebody, because I suspect that this means that they believe that they have a mass amount of customers who otherwise would probably not be ordering from them if they didn't have access to this. I can't think of what reason why you would just simply kind of add this as an option if you were like a successful business. because it seems so kind of like egregious, like so like, you know, if somebody can't afford a $20 order from DoorDash, I mean, they're definitely not going to be paying installments on it. But maybe they see data that speaks otherwise. Maybe they just see a lot of desperate degen people who would do a lot of, you know, awful budgeting or financial decisions just to ensure they could get, you know, Chipotle and McDonald's straight to the door.
Right. I like this meme. I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. It's from the Popeye. I believe it's from Popeye. But I don't understand, what's the incentive when you think about why would a company front the money, not charge interest to continue or allow this type of business? And I come across this one right here. It says, what if the writers of the dystopian novels are just submitting their world domination plans for peer review? And it kind of like incentivizes people to stay down the path of destruction. Like what is, like, what's in it for them? Why go through this effort if there's no money to be made from it other than continuing what's going on? Maybe get people to order more often. Even is the essentially the continuation, the destruction essentially of being able to take care of yourself, being dependent on somebody to bring your cooked food to your door. Whenever they go and turn that off, you know what I'm saying? Like potentially whenever they go and turn that off, what are these people going to do for food?
Well, just like, I mean, just think about it, right? Like what is going through someone's head? Like, how would you feel if you, instead of paying for your food directly, you put it on some kind of finance plan, right? Like you paid for your Burger King in installments because you just couldn't afford it, right? Like to me, it's like if I'm at that point, it's like I'm not on DoorDash. Right? It's like I don't even have $20 in my pocket. Like I'm not on DoorDash, right? Like I'm clinging onto that as hard as I possibly can. Cause like, what if I need to get somewhere, right? Like what if I need gas or like what if I need like anything like that that's like a necessity? I'm like, I'll fast, dude. I have $20, man. I don't have money to eat.
Right.
What do you mean? I need to make sure I can get to the next day or like pay for public transportation if I need to.
We get some ramen noodles DoorDash to the house.
Yeah. Well, it's just like this entitledness, right? There's like a sense of like this entitlement from, I think, some of the younger generations. And I'll agree with Steve, definitely more women than men. But this kind of sense of just like things just need to be given to you. Like, why do I need to suffer for any amount of reason? Right. And then suffering to, you know, a younger person or millennial like that is like, oh, I had to go a day without Starbucks. It was the worst day I had all week. It's like that's not suffering. It's like you just didn't have coffee in the morning from the place that you buy $9 for overpaid sugary drinks and things like that. That I like, part of me wants to say, like, you know, this is a very capitalistic way of taking advantage of the stupidity of the average person.
Right.
But at a certain point, if it's like, if the system allows it in the capitalistic society, then sure, go ahead, right? Like if people are dumb enough to send you and put their food on layaway, like go ahead, have that company. I think ultimately it's like a net negative, right? This is where part of like my socialistic tendencies come out. Like, I think like as a community, we should have like a unified goal that like people don't get taken advantage of on like interest like this or like usury like this. Like shouldn't even be allowed, right? Like something like that should be illegal, in my opinion. Right. But that also goes against the ideal of capitalism, right? Being able to put forward a business, and if people are willing to buy it and the demand is there, they should just be allowed in a capitalistic society. And so it's a tough one. I think something such on its face is like such a net negative that it's like I don't even know what to say. Just like I can't wait to see whose lives get destroyed because they went into debt on DoorDash. Like collections agency halted their credit card because like you have massive payments coming out on your DoorDash. Like I don't know really what to think of it. I just think it's overall sad. And if anything, it's just a big indicator on the people who are in our current society.
Yeah, Tix Bomber says it makes me question reality. LOL. Evil Elma makes a good point. Is DoorDash covered in bankruptcy? Because yeah, that's a good question. You might get a bunch of people that order a bunch of stuff, and then just never pay for it. I mean, that's typically a trend that happens when you extend credit to individuals, is they spend more than they can pay back.
Right.
TNT mentions that the loan company probably gave a huge sum to partner. In exchange, they get all the info to push loan advertisements onto the customer.
That's true.
Yeah, so they're getting like personal information, marketing type of opportunities and stuff like that. And then he followed up and said, but even if they don't finance the food, the loan company can access the personal information to spam.
Yeah, right. Somebody's going to finance their food, dude. They'll probably sign up with your extremely over interest, 38% rate, loan that they'll get in the mail, right? That's actually probably a good idea. Definitely take advantage of like the stupidest people you can find on earth.
Right. Could you imagine going to apply for a loan to buy a house and they're like, no, you owe too much to DoorDash. You gotta pay this debt down.
No. Yeah, you get 3 sections.
Just throwing credit one burger at a time.
Well, it's like you have to put like, it's like, how much do you have in mortgage debt, right? Like how much are you in the hole in a mortgage or a house loan? How many car notes do you have? And the third section is, what about your DoorDash note? How much do you have in your DoorDash note?
Right.
It's like a whole brand new category when you're filing your taxes this year. Do you owe $1,000 or more to DoorDash? You could be entitled to help.
It's like a gambling addiction. That's funny. This dude posted a response to the announcement, and he said, if you need a loan to buy a damn burger, you're not the customer, you're the product. At DoorDash and Klarna aren't helping people. They're vultures picking at the bones of a broken economy. They know wages are stagnant. They know people are drowning in bills. Instead of fixing the problem, they found a new way to profit off of desperation. Quote, eat now, pay later isn't convenience. It's a trap. And like all traps, the people who set it aren't the ones who get caught. So that's really a good take on that. And, I highly recommend folks stay away from DoorDash. Honestly, it's if you can afford it, God bless you. But it's not something that for the working man, in my opinion, and it's certainly not something that people who are living off the government should be using. It's a complete waste. If if you can't get to the store to buy the stuff, stop. Then I don't know. It's just a weird scenario, right?
That's what my socialist side is telling me, right? For the greater good. I don't care if an individual wants to finance his damn burger. The society deserves better than that, and you're not allowed.
Right.
like no.